What's going on, everybody? Shadow back with another Watch Your Brands video. And in today's video, let's talk about some of these new heroes coming up. Okay. So let's take a look at Valeriya in this video. We're gonna talk about her a little bit. Take a look at her kit. Looking at the character model, looks pretty dope, man. She belongs to the new Chaotic faction, which a lot of us probably don't have a lord for it yet, but she can also be paired luckily with the Nightmare faction. So that does mean that your Wrath will work with her. Okay, so that does mean in Guild Boss she could be working with your Nightmare team if you have a mainly Nightmare team, um, Guild Boss team. I can't get the words out. My bad. Like for me, I use Salazar Abomination. I use Zilla too, but she's not Nightmare. I do use my Deimos. I could possibly throw her in there, and I also got Wrath. She does deal extra damage at low HP, so I could throw her in or substitute her in for where I normally would put my Abomination, or I can even add her towards the end there on the other end. It just depends on how you set it up. What I if I do get her, I will try to make a video and see how she does in Guild Boss. Um, but yeah, let's get back to looking at her kit. So she's a fighter. She has arena mastery, burst damage, and she does have self heal. Let's read the kit. So she deals 100 damage to one enemy on her basic attack. It could be up to a total of 120. And then her ultimate. Let's take a look. Okay, okay. Kind of like a little Dark Souls, charge up infusion with the sword. Okay, okay, with the great sword slash. Y'all seen that? Any of my Dark Souls fans out there? Love Dark Souls, my favorite game. Anyways, so it reads damage is plus 80%. Each attack consumes 10% of the current HP and generates one stack of the power of the sword, up to 8 stacks in total. And the power of the sword is burst damage to the main target, increased by 50% with each stack after the skill ends. And each stack, like I said, it can be stacked up to a total of 8 times. And burst damage is increased to the main target by 50%. So that just means that 50% is going to stack 8 times. So that sounds pretty good to me. Um, but it does consume 10% of her current HP, which kind of sucks. But again, is she dealing more damage at low HP? That wouldn't be too bad. That'll help her keep her down at that lower HP threshold, where she's able to dish out more damage. And by reading her talent, increases attack and defense as HP drops. When HP drops to 30%, the increase peaks at 60% damage. So that's not too bad. If anything, that's just going to help her deal more damage. Okay. The hero cannot be healed during the skill. When the skill ends, she deals 400% burst damage to the main target and 4 targets around them. So yeah, she does sound like she could be very good, like as far as damage. I forget the other guy named Lugaru or something like that right there. He also belongs to the Chaotic faction. He seems like he's really good at burst damage. These can possibly be some very good arena units. Let's take a look and see if she does have that arena thing. Yes, she does. So it reduces the cost by 4 in the arena. And just to look at her normal cost is 17. So that'll bring that down by 4, which is pretty good, guys. Which is pretty good. Take a look at her passive here. She smashes the target enemy, dealing 240% damage and inflicting physical damage vulnerability, during the ultimate. Each attack reduces plunging slashes cooldown by 2 seconds. Okay, so during the ultimate, each attack reduces that passive cooldown that allows her to apply physical damage vulnerability. So that's pretty good. You can also scale it up a bit too. And also at level 5, looks like during the ultimate, the basic attack reduces the cooldown by 1 second. So that's also good. So that'll help get this cooldown quicker so you can get to using this passive even more often. Another passive, the Will of Steel. When HP drops below 30%, restores 2% HP per second. Okay, so once she hits that 30% threshold where she reaches that peak damage, she's going to start regenerating 2 HP per second. So you won't stay at that peak 60% damage for long. Because as soon as she hits it, she's going to start regenerating. It triggers the following effect instead during the ultimate. The hero enters the unyielding state upon taking fatal damage and dies immediately when the ultimate ends, which can be triggered up to 1 time per deployment. So she has an unyielding state. If you guys don't know what that is, I'm pretty sure my gear raid two guys probably know what that is, but essentially that just lets you survive for a bit of time after you take a fatal strike or a fatal hit. Um, so she can use it once per deployment. I believe that's like standard for majority of these other unyielding guys. You use them, they enter unyielding state when they die. You recall them, you place them back out for like my Deimos users out there. Not Deimos, excuse me, my Decimus users or my Baron users out there would know. But yeah, so I mean that's actually pretty good, pretty good kit, pretty decent kit. Sounds good to me. I will be gladly taking her if I can get her. Um, so let's take a look at her awakenings last but not least. Okay, so during the ultimate, the attack speed is increased by 100. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not bad. Always a little bit more attack speed is always welcome. Awaken 3 during the ultimate ignores 20% of the enemy's defense. Now that is very good as well because she does apply the physical damage vulnerability with one of her passives. So that's actually pretty good right there. That's just even more damage she's going to be able to do. And then at the final Awakening 5, during the ultimate, there is a 50% chance to accumulate 2 stacks of the power of the sword for each attack, up to 12 stacks in total. Now, that is going to be crazy damage right there. Because before, it was only allowing her to get 8 stacks in total, now a total of 12. And also, there's also an extra 50% chance to accumulate 2 stacks of power of the sword for each attack. That's gonna be pretty good right there as far as damage. So if you get an A5 Valeriya, she's probably gonna be out there hitting with some of the best, champions heroes out here released right now at A5. Definitely not a bad fighter to awaken 5 if you're able to. Um, I doubt any of us probably will be able to, besides some of these Krakens out here, because for one, this game is very RNG, and for two, come on, let's be real now. If you're getting 6 Valerias, you're gonna be that's gonna cost a ton of diamonds and summoning stones, which none of us really have. But we can always look forward to the future. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video covering Valeriya. Please drop a like down below. Consider subscribing to the channel and stay on the lookout for my next video. I'm gonna be covering Broke here next. But yeah, until the next video, guys, y'all have a good one, man. It's your boy Shadow, and I'm out. Peace.